This is our last day of our trip. I think we've been on the road for 2 weeks. Coos Bay initially, Joshua Tree, which was a ton of fun. We're basically on this trip to go to my cousin's wedding. This is our brand new Toyota Tundra, and it's so new that there's no products out for it yet. We don't have it built for overlanding, so we've just kind of been doing the classic American road trip camping style thing. All right, we're exploring Lake Shasta, which is in its 3rd year of drought. We found this long boat ramp, and we talked to some people here at the park. You can actually drive to the bottom of it, where you used to actually be able to access water, but since it's so shallow here, it just looks really trippy. But we're gonna drive to the bottom of it and then take a small trail and see if we can find the water. And from there, I'm gonna set up a little camp and talk to you guys about the 10 things I hate about this Tundra. It's a great family road trip vehicle so far. We've tested it off-road, and it's not very great off-road.
Oh my God. Oh, no, Max.
Those things could be corrected with modifications, but I'm gonna talk to you about some of the things that I can't really do anything about that just drive me absolutely nuts in this truck. Oh nice, how much? Seeing me set up right now is called the Moonshade from Moonfab. It's this nifty little portable awning that can be attached to any vehicle using suction cups or magnets. It's been super handy because I have so many different vehicles. I don't want to run a full awning on all of them. I can just toss this thing in the truck and put it on any one of my vehicles. It's also super affordable, very lightweight, and easy to transport. You guys can check out Moonfab by clicking the link in the description below. Thanks to Moonfab for sponsoring this video. Okay, so here we are with the 2022 Tundra, and I feel like after putting 4,000 miles on it, I've had an opportunity to, I don't know, make some assessments. This video is not supposed to just be like a slam video. I'm just pointing out some of the things that I found to be frustrating or annoying, things that I just genuinely hate about this truck. I'm coming from a Ford Raptor. It's just a better truck. It just is. I mean, that's why they're $90,000. And we took it off road. Was one of the first things we did. We ended up getting stuck on a way tighter trail than we intended. Did a bunch of body damage to it. That's in a separate video. So that was sort of me testing its stock off-road capabilities. And well, as you can tell, unless you're keen to getting body damage, I wouldn't say it's the best thing off-road ever, but we have a lot of work to do on it to really get it up to speed, to make it off-road capable, but there's some things on this truck that I'll just never be able to really fix. Oh my gosh, it's hot out here. Let's just get into it. These are in no particular order. I literally was just driving and thinking about these things and making notes. This is one of the first things that we noticed. On the way up, we were driving on the highway going over a pass, and going about 75, maybe 80, when all of a sudden we got a check engine light. And at this point, the truck had probably less than 2,000 miles on it, or just about 2,000 miles on it. Just the electronics and some of these safety features in here. The truck's sensors are so sensitive that I even got a second check engine light later in the trip for a grill flutter. I don't even know what that means or why that would give you a check engine light. And for something like a parking brake malfunction or a grill flutter, you would think that maybe it might give you some sort of, I don't know, some sort of alternative notification other than a check engine light. Please see your dealer. You know, being traumatized by my Ford Raptor blowing up, which, if you haven't seen my channel, I should preface this with, I really loved the Raptor, but it had catastrophic engine problems, so hence why I went back to Toyota. That kind of leads me into number 2, which is this auto parking brake. It's some sort of safety feature that sets the parking brake for you. Now, when you put the truck in park and it, you know, clamps down that brake for you, you can actually hear it, makes a strange sound. That's fine, that makes sense. But if you put the truck in drive and you have a door open and you start to drive, you'll be able to proceed for like maybe a foot, and then that parking brake will set for you because a door is open or cracked. And that's just something I don't like. I don't like safety features that get in the way of being able to like operate my own truck. But there is a button on the dash you can press to disable that, but that's just extra steps to do what I feel should be, you know, pretty normal. But I do really like the big screen and the Android Auto. I like the way it functions, I like the way it feels, but I don't like that it disconnects probably once or twice with every single hour. And there's been a couple times on this road trip where it's disconnected like right before our exit, and we've ended up missing our exit, having to detour around. It's those little things that it just seems so small. Oh, disconnect, okay, my music, I lost my music. But no, in this truck, you rely entirely on your Google Maps Android Auto to navigate, unless you subscribe to a navigation subscription service, which is another thing that I just like despise about Toyota. Like, we bought this truck, we're making payments on it. Why do you need to then go milk us? That kind of bled into my fourth thing I hate about this was that you have to subscribe for navigation. So not only has Android Auto disconnected several times, which is really frustrating, and disconnected while we're navigating, and you know, thrown us off course and caused us to have, you know, 20 to 25 minute detours to get back on track. That's such a high consequence for something that like should work. The fact that they don't have a built-in navigation system or even a trial of their navigation system. I can't even see what it's like before I choose to buy it. Morally, I'm just against having to pay for this subscription service that my 2016 Toyota Tacoma came with. Not only frustrating, I feel like it's dangerous, because if I'm out of service and my phone is dead and I need to get somewhere, I have no navigation anymore. But the truck is completely capable of doing it, but because I haven't paid Toyota, I would be stranded or lost. And so I'm like, I feel obligated to subscribe to it, so I have that as a backup in case I lost a phone or have a dead phone. But at the same time, I feel like it's just outrageous for Toyota to be nickel and diming their customers like that. Okay, moving on. The dimensions of this truck, some of the things, like, I understand styling is important to a lot of people, and some people love the look of this truck, some people hate the look of this truck. I'm not like overwhelmed by the look of it. I actually really like the back of it a lot. I think it looks really, really good from the rear. I think the front looks sweet. The grille is massive. Everyone says the grille's huge. And you know, there could be some arguments made that they're making room for a lot of cooling for the intercooler. The dimensions of the truck are just so strange. It's like huge grille but tiny windows. That's kind of what I'm talking about. That's one of the things I dislike about this truck, are the tiny windows. The windshield is very small. I'm a tall guy, and so if I were to sit up straight, I'm like looking right at my sun visor. Oftentimes if I pull up to a light, I can't even see the light without having to duck underneath my own windshield to look up there. It's totally contradictory to what Ford has done, where Ford has these massive windows. They even have cutouts in their windows so you could see everything. So the visibility in this truck is pretty poor. I think that's one of the things that's contributed to the miles feeling longer on these road trips, is just feeling kind of cramped in this thing and wanting to get out. Not necessarily because of seat space, which it's a little bit less in the front than I'm used to, but more so because of the windshield and the windows. I just feel like the TRD off-road version should have come with at least a 1-inch lift or leveling kit, just to get it up off the ground, to avoid some of the issues that I ran into when I took it on the trail. I don't think the TRD off-road version should come with the air spoiler in the front. There's an automatic spoiler that comes down when you go over a certain mile per hour. The problem with that is that it's just this mechanical device that's just hanging out there, just waiting to be crushed. And that's what I did. I broke it, and then what I've also been reading about or seeing is that when people go to switch to off-road bumpers, which is, you know, Toyota needs to know their audience, a lot of us do that. Well, now you have this device you have to disconnect, and it's going to give you errors on the dash. And so I just feel like the TRD off-road version and the TRD Pro version could have done without those. The next one I noticed was extremely weak interior lighting. There's literally only 3 small LEDs in the interior. So at night, I found I need to get a flashlight or my phone out to find anything. But this truck just has these puny little tiny little LED clicking lights, and it just kind of feels old. Like, it just reminds me of an old truck. It doesn't have automatic headlights or windshield wipers. It's like, dude, Toyota, we have the technology. Just turn on the headlights. And that is one of my least favorite things about the entire truck, is just the chime sound that they utilize to warn you about anything. So I had to flash forward to being home. I was editing this video and I realized that there was just a ton of wind noise. I want you guys to hear some of the beeping sounds that come from this thing just from driving around here on my property. It's pretty much constant. You can press OK to mute this temporarily, and it might stop for a little bit, but I've noticed that it doesn't stop all the time. So annoying. The pitch and tone of these beeps, and then the consistency, like how frequently it's going off, they just have, they're really frustrating, and they make the truck just aggravating to drive. Now check out the seatbelt alarm. The moment I take it off, it's gonna go off on me. So this seatbelt alarm never turns off. In a lot of vehicles, if you just wait long enough, it'll turn off. So say I set something heavy on the back seat, it's gonna make this sound consistently the whole time, no matter what. It doesn't eventually decide to cut it out. Super frustrating. And the fact that it has those sensors on the back seats just drives me nuts. I mean, one of the big ones I want to show you guys is the lane staying capability thing. It does a really good job of staying in the lanes. Just want to see what it sounds like when you touch the line. That's just from touching the line, either the center line or the outside line. Oh, didn't even do it that time. Not very consistent. So you could be driving along and come across like construction or whatever, and the line, you have to touch it and that alarm goes off, and it's pretty loud. It's loud enough to where it's actually woken the kids up from a nap. It's woken up Des in like a frantic, thinking that something was happening. And it's just super, super annoying. Like my old truck literally just vibrated the steering wheel, and that's all you needed. Like, I don't know what Toyota was thinking. And half the time it works, half the time it doesn't. It's very inconsistent. All right, when it comes to the automatic parking brake, let's say for example, I'm hitching my trailer and I hop out and I'm like this far away from the trailer hitch. What I've always done is I come back to the vehicle, I put it in reverse, and I try to take it back. With just kind of half on the seat, maybe my foot's out the door, especially if it's only a couple inches, right? But you guys just heard it and you may have seen it. Stop beeping at me. What are these beeps for? It sets the parking brake automatically and then gives you all these crazy chimes. And this is what I'm saying. Why is it that economy and safety rating is higher priority than like usability and like function and just the customer's experience driving the vehicle? I feel like those sort of things have been thrown out the window, and I talked about it a lot in this video already, but I feel like Toyota just put a precedent on safety and safety and economy, and just blew out everything else. I mean, when it comes down to quality too, like the quality of everything, at first I was pretty impressed. I thought it was pretty decent, but then as I moved around the vehicle and I felt some of this, let me just show you. The body even is very flimsy. It's like thin, very thin. It dents super easily. Check this out right here. Look at how just pops right out, like it's not even screwed into place, it's just pressed in. Just garbage. These are super thin. It's like this carpet stuff. That's essentially what the skid plate was. It's more of a splash guard than anything. And it's like you go around the truck and it's all like that. It's all just kind of cheap and cheesy feeling. There's more plastic in places that traditionally you didn't have plastic. Like all the rocker panels are all plastic. This is all plastic. I think that I've probably hit about 10. I don't know if I was very organized when I made this video. It was sort of the end of a trip, and like I said, everything got pretty windy. God, this beeping. But so every time I drive this truck, this is what it's like. So I don't know. I really hate to be super negative about it. I'm really hoping that I warm up to it, and that once we get the lift and tires on it, I start to enjoy it more. I will follow up with things I like about this truck, because there's plenty of things I like about the truck. It is super fast. It sounds amazing, although there's rumors that sound is piped in from the speakers, which I believe to be true. That's the video. If you're shopping around for a Tundra, I would suggest test drive one, talk to your dealership about some of these annoying things and see if there are ways to turn it off. I don't know. I'm just going off of my experience of driving it and the way that it came to me from the factory, and some of the issues that I've encountered with it so far. So if you liked this video, please give me a thumbs up. I'd really appreciate it. But that's pretty much it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Get some work done this week, but don't forget to live. Bye.